Record your podcast through 2 tin cans and a piece of string.
Oh, God.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Midlight Crisis, a real podcast hosted by 3 grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally cool. I am one of your hosts, Sophie. And today, I have been genetically recombined with a bird that has a superpower, but it's only 2%, just like the smallest amount. And the bird that I have been genetically recombined with is an acid breath bumblebee hummingbird.
Oh,
That's a good one.
that's a lot of syllables.
I think a bumblebee hummingbird is an actual thing.
I think so too.
It's the first time ever. A real
Wow.
bird, but I just breathe acid.
Yeah, like a real bumblebee hummingbird.
Aren't bumblebee hummingbirds like the smallest bird? Hold on, I should have looked
They're
this up
extremely
before.
tiny.
I
They have
no idea.
beautiful fuchsia throat feathers.
Oh my god, they're so tiny.
They're so tiny, endemic to Mexico, but
Wow.
have been seen as vagrants in the United States.
Dang, it weighs 2 to 2.7 grams.
Whoa,
That's
Aw.
tiny.
it's not even a snack. I'm not gonna eat a
Yeah.
hummingbird.
You're
Oh my God.
I would argue most hummingbirds are barely even a snack.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even if I was small, that would barely even be a snack, though.
Yeah, you probably don't want to eat this one either because it just
Because
is
it
like,
breathes acid.
yeah, it's like delicately sipping nectar and then it turns around and
Aw.
just spits acid at you.
Oh my God.
Good defense.
Good defense, yeah. Birds have spent too long not spitting acid
Yeah,
as a defense mechanism.
I agree.
Anyway, that's who I am. What about you guys?
Well, I don't breathe acid, but my name is Sam, and I am genetically recombined with a virtual notebook barn owl.
Wow, a notebook barn owl.
Yeah.
That's
And
fun.
it's virtual.
And he's
Virtual.
virtual. A virtual monster.
I know we don't talk about Harry Potter on this show, but a virtual
Yeah.
notebook barn owl seems like something that would be in the, like, next generation, they've come into the future
Yeah, Harry Potter.
version of that world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd buy
well,
that, yeah.
I don't think so because I feel like J.K. Rowling would never bring
Yeah.
them into the future. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she did make them stop shitting themselves and start using plumbing.
oh my
so
God,
that was
I
true.
forgot about that.
The fact
Yeah.
lives rent-free in my head.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Your Roman Empire.
your Roman Empire.
No.
No.
I think about the Roman Empire more than I think about vampire shit.
Vampire?
Vampire
Wait,
and wizard. I think about vampire shit more than I thought I did.
Apparently. All I was going to say is that a virtual, what was it, vampire barn owl? No.
Virtual notebook barn owl.
Yeah, a virtual notebook barn owl feels like your best friend in a, like, 2000s kids video game. Like, you're like, learn how to spell, and Augustus,
Like Rita Rabbit.
the virtual barn owl holding a notebook, will be like, well done, you spelled 16 correctly.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a game you get in a cereal box.
No, it's the vampires.
Oh, Sam's still dying over that.
Oh,
Said it so
the best thing in this
casually,
podcast is
Hannah.
when we can make Sam crack up.
Yeah. We did it so early.
Yeah. What do we have to shoot for?
Oh my God. I've had too much caffeine today. That might be why.
That might be
Anyways,
why.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm gonna take credit for my epic.
Yeah, no, that was
Shit.
really funny.
Your epic shit? What?
Yeah. I said what I said, and
Okay.
I meant it exactly the way I said it, for sure.
I don't want to talk about poop anymore. So how
Yeah.
about you, who have done this crime, say who you are?
I hate what I have brought to this podcast today.
Yeah.
My name is Hannah, and the 2% of me that isn't thinking about unmentionables has been recombined with Banshee Early Stork, which
Whoa.
is just like a non-comprehensible combination of words.
Yeah.
But Banshee Early sounds like she belongs in a Western movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
So does Early Stork, honestly.
That's a good point.
All of it is very
Yeehaw.
Western, yeah.
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 Early Stork is like a dude, like an old dude. And Banshee Early is, I don't know, his niece.
Yeah. Rootin' tootin' gunslinging
Yeah.
lady.
Yeah, we know a lot about the Western genre here.
You may notice none of us have ever mentioned a Western in our What Are We Currently Reading section.
No.
No, never.
The closest I've read to a Western is like 2 Nora Roberts books. Probably.
I have one on hold at the library currently, but I don't think it counts as a Western because I think it's just a romance, but with cowboys.
Wow.
Close enough.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I did read that librarian Western novella. What was it?
Huh?
Something Wanted? What's that?
No idea, Sophie.
Librarians.
No idea what you're talking about.
No, you know which book it is.
No, I do. Upright Women Wanted.
Upright Women Wanted
Oh,
is
I
a
have
Western.
that.
Yes.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
And it's a
Okay.
novella. It's like a
Oh.
a dystopian future novella, but also you feel good about it.
I think the closest I've come to a Western is the 11th Hour,
Podcast.
The Adventure Zone graphic novel adaptation.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's
That's
that.
fine. Yeah, we have a lot of experience. Anyway, the reason we're talking about Westerns is because we're reading a book. Sorry, I got briefly distracted there thinking about a Western, but it's just about a bunch of vloggers in LA.
That's good.
Yeah, tell me more.
Technically true. I don't know. I haven't written it yet.
Okay.
Anyway, the reason we've been genetically recombined with birds, which happened a while ago now in this episode. But the reason we're talking about it is, of course, we are reading Maximum Ride, The Angel Experiment, the book about the bird kids who have been genetically recombined. So that's all you need to know, really. But otherwise, we read 4 chapters this week again. So how about you guys tell us what happened in them?
Well, chapter 109, the flock is approached by some wingnut random dude to get makeovers. And so that's what they do, apparently. And then we move on to part 6, which is called Who's Your Daddy, Who's Your Mama? Which I
Yuck.
hate
Yeah.
so much. Why, JP? Why?
Why?
Anywho, the kids get their makeovers. Gasman is now basically a boy band member, and Fang is a full-blown emo aesthetic. So that's that. That's all that happens. I mean,
Yep.
they fly off, I think, at some point. But, you know, the makeovers.
The makeovers.
They get makeovers. Yeah, they fly off an hour and a half away from Manhattan, and then they land on an isolated piece of shoreline somewhere where they hang out on the beach, play with hermit crabs, eat chocolate chip cookies, and Fang drops the bombshell that they could just stop trying to find answers and go about and live their lives. That's all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dramatic.
That's
Dramatic.
it. That's the book.
Yep.
Happy ending. We're done. Bum, bum, bum.
The end.
Close it up.
And then that
Oh,
was the end
God.
of the book. It was weird.
That was
They
the end
just
of the
stayed
book.
there.
Happily ever after, living on the beach. As someone who lives near the ocean on the east coast of North America, when they're like, oh, we could stay on this beach forever, I was like, you are going to get so cold. Oh my God.
You're gonna get hit by so many hurricanes.
I just squeezed my stress ball so hard that it exploded all over me.
Oh my god.
There's Orbeez all over my floor.
Okay. Technical difficulties music. Insert here. I can't believe you stressed your stress ball to death.
Didn't think I was that stressed.
Apparently you are.
Wow.
You're so stressed by the idea of spending the rest of your life on a beach.
I would be so cold. I can't even tell where the Orbeez squirted out of this stress ball.
Where would you even go to the bathroom?
Where would I go to? Well, there's lots of rocks, so I could squat behind a rock.
Yeah.
Listen, as the resident piss man, I am well acquainted to
Yeah.
peeing outside. Did that joke make it into the podcast before? Yeah, well, that's fine.
I was like, if you want to keep talking about it, it's fine.
No, I'm just a little befuddled.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, we were talking about the beach.
Yeah, I mean, I am an inside person, so the idea of being outside with no inside ever stresses me out.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be outside forever.
I think some people probably do.
Yeah, I think a few people.
Those people like make shelters.
That's true. I guess the bird kids could make a shelter.
I guess they
Yeah.
could.
They have a lot of weird skills.
Maybe they watched the like Robinson Crusoe at some point. Before we talk about the beach though, before we get to the beach episode, I don't have like much to say, but because Sam brought it up, I wanted to appreciate that my first thought also went to how much all of the boys now looked like band members
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
2005.
My brain legitimately went that Gas Man is now a member of O-Town, and I don't know why it was O-Town. I think it was because they had that like traditional, all of them had like bleached hair and like that spiked up look. And so I was just like, okay, so Gas Man is a member of O-Town now. Great, cool, love that.
This is incredible. Truly, our brains were formed in the same era because I have 6 tabs open of different
O-Town?
bands.
Oh yeah.
No, not O-Town because I don't think I listened to O-Town. I don't know
Oh my
who
god,
O-Town
you
is.
didn't listen to the masterpiece that was Liquid Dreams?
No, I didn't.
And it's
What?
about exactly what you think it is?
Oh no!
No.
I don't think Gasman can legally be in that band.
I know,
Then.
but I was like 8 years old and listening to this goddamn
Oh,
band.
no.
Because that's like that was the song, and they were
Uh-oh.
marketed to kids. It was
Wow,
bad.
that was B44 for me, where they have a song called "Get Down."
Oh,
which is
yes.
also
I
what
know
you
that
expect.
One too. Yeah.
Oh no.
No, I was trying to remember so specifically, right? So the boys are described as like Gasman has like bleach blonde hair now in parts and spiked, a classic
And?
look. Oh, and the tips are dyed
though.
blue. Yeah.
Blue frosted tips.
Blue frosted tips. Fang is, I think, Gerard Way or the guy from Panic at the Disco or
Yeah.
any of those
Classic
like
emo look.
Yeah.
classic emo look with short hair except for the long one in the front.
But he gets it dyed.
Yes.
So it looked exactly like a hawk's plumage.
yeah.
Which is great.
I also have a thought about that, which is that I'm really annoyed because this book says like, oh, his hair got dyed to look like a hawk's plumage. And then there's a Mercedes Lackey book where characters get their hair dyed to look like feathers. And I'm like, I'm so annoyed at authors putting this in books when it's like not possible in real life because I want it.
Oh.
Stop doing it. I want hair that looks like that. But Iggy was the one that sent me on my dive into 2005 bands because Iggy has his blonde hair dyed with dark tips, like a reverse frosted tips. And it's just because I started my journey on the Wikipedia page for frosted tips, which exists, first of all. And second of all, well, okay, 1.5 of all, it lists a bunch of notable people who had frosted tips, which is very funny to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, Aaron Carter, Zac Efron, Guy Fieri, obviously, the king. Anyway, there's more of them. But then the next part says other variants, such as thawed tips, where dark highlights are applied.
I didn't even
That's
know
terrible.
that was a thing.
It's not. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Like, I cannot find... It exists only in this Wikipedia page, as far as I can tell.
Oh, God.
So anyway, that was disappointing, because I did want to try and find... I could have sworn that I could picture a man from a band who had, like, blonde hair with dark tips. I cannot figure out who I'm thinking of. Because I looked up Billy Joe Armstrong, who I thought had it, but he just had black hair and then blonde hair.
Yeah.
I looked up Sum 41. He also just had blonde hair. I looked up Blink-182. Nothing there. Like, literally, I have, like, 6 pages.
I don't think I've ever seen it before. Like, that's not, it's not a thing.
Right? Like, I swear there was, like, a bassist that had it, but I don't know the names of any bassists. So it's fine. I'll figure it out one day. I'll report back.
Yeah, the only one I can think of is Pete Wentz, and he was, like, full emo. Like, that's what Fang looks like right now.
Yeah. I just Googled thawed tips to try to find a picture of it, and I got a lot of images of defrosting meat.
Yeah, that's what also happened
awful.
to me. Yeah. Tips for thawing your meat. No, that's not what I wanted.
I was like, that's
That's not what I wanted. Yeah, anyway, that's my fun fact. I really thought I had finished doing this, and then I kept reading the chapters, and then I was like, oh my god, what if it was Smash Mouth? And then I went to go look at Smash Mouth. It still wasn't Smash Mouth.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking of men with frosted tips.
Yeah, don't forget that Iggy also got his ear pierced.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which adds to the look.
Yeah. It's incredible, this look. And I mean, with that's not even going into the girls who just have Avril Lavigne aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nudge gets her super curly hair, gets blow dried, perfectly straight, cut in layers, and then highlighted.
Yep.
Which is cute.
Yeah.
And then Max gets some kind of bob or pixie cut with pink highlights.
Yeah.
Which is also like a fun, as you said, Avril Lavigne vibe, except they're trying to like be inconspicuous.
Well, I think they're trying to look not like themselves.
Yeah, sorry, like at the moment they're like, hell yeah, makeover, make us look completely different. And then in the next couple chapters they're like trying to be inconspicuous, like going grocery shopping.
Right.
It's
I mean,
well,
I would argue that like looking more like a person would in 2005 rather than a scruffy, unkempt lab
That's
experiment maybe would help, but
yeah, I think it's Gasman specifically that's throwing me off.
yeah, the blue tips.
The blue
is
tips
a
are
lot. Yeah.
giving me a problem.
Yeah, because I sort of wanted to get a mental image of the 2005 hairs, obviously, by my journey. So I did just look up women's hairstyles also from 2005, like no other signifiers, just 2005 women's hairstyles. And there's a picture of Jennifer Aniston from like later in Friends. And unfortunately it is like a short bob with highlights, and I'm like, I think this is what Max looks like now.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
That was like the iconic hairstyle then. Like people literally call that the Jennifer Aniston. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that even in the early 2000s? I thought that was mostly a 90s thing, but I could be wrong.
When was Friends on?
Like,
I don't
didn't
know.
Friends go into the early...
I think it's like late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to look it up. It's fine. We can be wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Did Angel get a makeover? I didn't see it. I guess I could have just missed it.
Didn't she have a blue fluffy jacket on?
Yes. So after they get their hairdo and makeup, and in one case piercing makeovers, they go to a thrift store to buy clothes. And Angel wants to buy a tutu and a fluffy blue fleece jacket, but I don't know if they did a makeover on her. I also don't know, like, how acceptable it is to do, like, a dye job on a 6-year-old. Isn't there something about, like, children's hair you're not supposed to dye it?
Oh, yeah,
Although
maybe.
they did it to Gasman, so...
Yeah, but I feel like an 8-year-old boys have gotten
Yeah.
lots of dyed hairs.
I was
Yeah.
like, don't tell the pageant moms you can't do that. All them
Whoa.
turning their children brunette,
True.
or their brunettes blonde.
There are a lot of things that I would tell pageant parents not to do,
Yeah.
Well,
to be fair.
pageants, putting your kids in
Pageants
pageants is
in
one,
general.
yes.
Yeah, that is odd to me.
Yeah. The only other thing I had to say about this is that Ambush Makeover was a real show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think it was like the same thing, really. Like, I think they ambush people on the streets, but then you go to the, like, salon and
Okay.
go get an outfit, and it's revealed later in the studio to the studio audience, you know? But
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this was on from 2004 to 2005. So prime time.
Uh-huh. Peak timing.
Yeah. Which was just fun. Maybe you can add it to your reality TV show lineup, Sam.
No.
No. If it only ran for a year, it probably wasn't that good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need like 12 to 13 seasons of just
Okay.
pure brainless. Anyways, it's fine.
There were 130 episodes, though.
Oh my
God.
god.
Yeah.
Did they do it every day?
I guess so.
They just kept going until they
Wow.
ran out of money.
Yeah, it really ran from September 1st, 2004 to September 9th, 2005. Like, it just 1 year almost exactly.
Jeez.
Nobody's name associated with this show has, like, a blue link. Like, all of them are just, like, they exist
random
here
people.
and here alone. I started watching a clip from it, and then I couldn't.
Yeah,
was too
I'm
much.
embarrassed just thinking about it.
No,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the thing that existed, apparently.
Wow. What a time that was, eh?
What a time.
The styles that are described here in these makeovers are ridiculous, but also, I feel like, temporally appropriate.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
they were extremely cool for the time, and I remember thinking they were cool at the time, and now I'm like, how did I think that?
I mean, none of us want to go back and look at how we dressed. I mean, there's people making entire TikTok careers off making fun of how we dressed in the late 90s, early 2000s. So,
And
Yeah.
even worse, now they're glorifying the early 2000s.
I was gonna say, now they're doing it
Yeah.
on purpose.
I
Yeah.
mean, and like some of those styles are like coming back. Like I've seen some things. I've been scarred. I don't want to
I've
dress
seen
like that
some
ever
things.
again.
No.
Some things should stay dead.
Yeah, do not bring the peplum top back. I am begging you. 15-year-old me
No.
was scarred by the lady in Home Depot. Do not bring
No,
them back.
I liked those.
I
no,
did not
I got
like
called
those.
pregnant too many times as a 14, 15-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
it was traumatizing. But I liked wearing them because they hid my tummy that I was self-conscious about. But then the lady in Home Depot decided to be like, oh, when are you due? And I legit, this happened like twice in stores. Like, it is
Awful.
traumatizing.
That's when you're like, oh, my grade 9 exams are due tomorrow.
Well, that's
and
like
make them feel
my
bad.
mom was pissed, and we were there with some family friends and my brother, and like it was like 4 teenage boys, and they all rallied and defended my honor, which was like
Oh,
the
that's
sweetest
nice.
thing. And they were like, "Are you fucking kidding me? She's 14." And then my mom was like, "That's a child. Like, no one to say things," because I like ran off
Yeah.
crying. And so they told me, but I like when I was like running off, I like heard my mom saying that, and the guys being like, "What the fuck." So, but anyways, this was clearly a critical moment in my memory because
Yeah.
I was wearing a stupid peplum top from stupid Hollister because it was the only thing that could fit me in that store.
Oh, yeah, I never once fit anything from that store.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop now. The early 2000s and late 90s were a traumatizing time for fashion,
Yeah.
for me specifically.
Getting assumed pregnant and with your wet calves from your flare jeans
Oh.
that are soaking wet at the back.
Soaking up all of the snow.
Oh, and then you tried to stuff them in your Uggs, and they just look terrible.
Awful.
Oh, God.
Also, like, people just need to fucking don't ask. Never. When is it ever good to ask if someone's pregnant? Like, it's never.
Yeah.
If that someone has something that important in their life, they'll probably tell you. Not to be that guy, but also, like, in this chapter, it feels a little bit like how Max says, like, oh, I look 20 years old now.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
That it's like, this is just a huge problem with assuming girls with makeup on and nice clothes are older than they are.
Yup.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant, but
Valid rant.
millennial fashions of the 2000s and these quote-unquote makeovers may have triggered me. Oops.
Yeah. Just threw us all back into the worst fashion we've ever worn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only other thing I wanted to say about these makeovers is that Max says her cool new haircut is in feathery layers. So I'm going to continue to pitch my concept that they don't have hair. They have feathers.
Oh.
Yeah.
I support you in this, but I was also confused.
Don't.
No, I mean, I'm just
Wow.
trying to be nice. But
Come on.
no, because I just couldn't tell in this chapter, because she's like, he whacked off my braid and then put it in featherly layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Keep trying.
Yeah, I'm just not. It's fine. But I was like, okay, so do you have like a pixie short layers
Yeah.
now? Or do you have like still long hair with layers? Like,
Yeah.
what happened?
It's very unclear.
Yeah.
I assumed a bob because that sort of seems like something that would be layered and also the result of hacking off a braid.
Yeah,
But, like, there's no source material to back that up.
I was confused.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those very short bobs, you know, because it like can't reach her eyes or her mouth.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
just, I couldn't figure out what it was in my head. And yeah, it would be nice. No, it'd be weird if they had feathers coming out of their head, but I appreciate your
No, it's great.
ambition, Sophie.
yeah.
I think the problem is if their hair was feathers, somebody might have noticed while they were getting their hair
Yeah.
styled.
No, they just thought they had a lot of split ends. No, because they have, hear me out.
No.
They have like those fancy like
Yeah,
filamentous
the pigment
feathers
fibers.
that
Yeah.
egrets have.
Oh.
I still think that the hair stylist might notice if the hair isn't hair.
I just want you to think about when they get cold, they can like ruffle their eyebrows.
I mean, they could probably still do that with their hair follicles. A lot of animals can, like, change the way their hair stands.
That's true. You know when birds like ruffle their feathers though? That's what I'm thinking of.
They
Uh-huh.
ruffle
But their eyebrows.
Wings. I think
Yeah,
it's
they can
hair.
ruffle the wings.
Yeah.
I think it's hair.
I think it's
I think
normal
it's
hair.
very funny that it could be feathers, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to continue pitching feather hair until you both are worn down and agree with me.
Okay, that's
Anyway,
I like the idea, I just don't think it's supported by the text.
Yeah.
it
what Hannah
says
said.
feathery layers right here.
Have you never seen a hairstylist talk? They're always talking about feathery hair.
Yeah.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you describe like big fluffy like voluminous like layered
Yeah.
hair like
Layered
from
hair,
the 80s.
feathery.
That's like feathery hair.
Oh.
Yeah, feathered bangs is like
Yeah.
a whole specific style.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, I think maybe my hair is just too thick and heavy to be feathery. So maybe
Oh.
that's the problem. And then also, to the other point, I also have not gotten my hair done in the 80s before. So that
Yeah.
could
well,
also be the
neither
problem.
have I, but it's just no, but like when someone describes like a feathery like look, it's like that 80s blowout kind of look.
Yeah.
That is what they're kind of describing.
Anyway,
Yeah, so makeovers. How
yeah.
fun.
I appreciate that Max got hot pink streaks in her hair and didn't say anything about, despite it being too girly for me. You know, she didn't say anything about that. She didn't do that.
Yeah, but she does protest about the idea of getting makeup done on her, so let's not give her too much credit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And she did protest the tutu, which I would argue the tutu wouldn't get in the way. It's fine. She could have worn a tutu.
She could have worn a tutu.
I feel like a 6-year-old wearing a tutu is, like, pretty normal.
It's
normal.
very
like,
normal.
so normal.
So normal. Also, if the 6-year-old is standing with her 8-year-old brother who has blue frosted tips, like, I don't think anybody's going to be looking at the tutu anyway.
I was like, let her wear the damn tutu. Like, tutus
Right.
just, like, sit on the hip anyways. Like, they're not going to limit your legs extending or your knees to kick or, like, anything. Like, it literally will not get
they're
in the
not
way.
heavy.
Like, I know women who dive in tutus for fun because it's, like, it's just a cute little thing. So, like,
Yeah.
you can just let her wear the damn tutu.
Let Angel have the tutu.
Yeah, I don't get enough of talking about Maximum Ride on this podcast, so I was talking about Maximum Ride with one of my colleagues today.
Oh, no.
Sure, yeah.
And she said that she remembered Max as basically being the prototypical pick-me girl.
Yeah.
Which,
Yes.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with.
Yeah, no, she is.
I don't really know what pick me means.
How do you just...
It's like the current verbiage for a not like the other girl's girl.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like the girl who would always hang out with the guys and just be like, I'm more of like a guy's guy. Like, oh my God, I love Tyler. Isn't he great? Oh my God, you can't like sit with us. No, what guys? Like, you
she
kidding
doesn't
me?
hang out with girls because they cause too much drama.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
She doesn't wear makeup.
oh my God, like I'd rather just
Okay,
like
but-
go play soccer. Oh my God, you want to go shopping? That's so lame. Like, no, I'm just gonna go hang out with Tyler.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, Tyler. I think it's because I saw one reel where it was like the pick-me girl who doesn't wear makeup, and I was like, I don't really wear makeup. Am I a pick-me girl? It's just that
No, but you don't make
you
that
don't
your
make
personality.
it your personality.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like
I was definitely a pick-me girl in high school because I didn't know how to be feminine, so I pretended that I was too good for it.
I definitely
yeah.
had
It's
my
like that
moments.
kind of thing.
Yeah, like I definitely
Yeah.
had my moments where I inhabited that behavior.
Yeah.
I don't think I was like a full blown because I see some of these videos
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God, that would drive me nuts. But I was like definitely like, oh, I'm better than you because I do these things attitude sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was like my own insecurities coming out because I was trying to make myself seem better because I wasn't popular. So I was like, well, in my head, I'm blah, blah, blah. Anyways. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Hey,
I feel
look
like
at
I have a hard time being like, isn't pick me just like everybody under the age of like 18?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
23 maybe.
I think they all have their moments for sure. I don't think you really grow out of it and realize how annoying that kind of stuff is until you're like 23, 24 and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So.
It's fine. Anyway, I'm not like the other girls, but
No.
No, it
I
was
love that meme that's like, I'm not like the other girls, I'm worse.
that's me.
yeah.
That's me.
me.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh every time.
No.
Incredible. Anyway, then they leave the city.
Yeah, then they go to the beach.
They go to the beach.
Can
Yeah.
we talk about the beach?
We can talk about the beach.
Wow.
Wow.
I do love the beach. Even though I got nervous about being cold on it.
Yeah, even though it's full of sand.
Yeah, and it's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Horrible.
Terrible. I got really confused because it was like, oh, we got to a black beach. And I was like a black sand beach? But I think they just mean a dark beach.
Yeah, they mean it was night.
Yeah, they
There
meant it
were
was
no lights.
nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, is there a volcano nearby? Why is there a black sand beach? They did not fly all the way to Iceland.
Gasman immediately is all of us and goes and finds a crab and yells about it.
Yeah.
I have, yes. I have,
Yes.
I have done this.
I was like, this is me exactly.
Yeah, I also feel seen with A, arriving at the beach, immediately finding a crab, and B, arriving anywhere and immediately starting to eat lunch. Like, I'm like,
Yep.
I never wait. I'm always just like, wow, we're here. Anyway, lunchtime.
Yep.
Whatever food I brought, I'm eating it immediately.
Uh-huh. In this case, it's cookies. Max is on a mission to find the best chocolate chip cookies.
Well, they had food first, and then they had cookies after, the next day.
Okay, right.
Yeah, there's 2 meals.
Sorry, I had skipped the first day because nothing happens. They just get to the beach, and I was like, I want to talk about this crab.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
I guess I don't actually have much to say about this crab.
No, that's it. I read this. I want to talk about this chapter just because I don't have a lot to say, but I'm so confused as to what, like, Max has the voice dream
Yeah.
where she hears foreign languages.
Yeah, and then
And
it's just kind of over.
And then it's done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does Max get taught a bunch of languages in her sleep?
I don't know.
No.
Because it says, the voice says, like, okay, it says, dimly I heard bits of foreign languages that I didn't understand. And the voice said, this is on a need-to-know basis, Max. You need to know. So, like,
God, the voice is so annoying.
clearly she learns something overnight, but I guess she forgets it when she wakes up.
Yeah, it wasn't important to the story at this exact moment, so she didn't tell us.
Or I think it's literally that maybe she was made to forget until
Yeah, probably.
she'll be
Yeah.
like, oh my god, suddenly it all came crashing back. Everything I had been learning every night, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Something like that.
Lame.
Lame. Anyway, now it's a beach episode. Now
A
we can
beach
talk about the
episode.
beach.
Beach.
Wow. The beach.
Beach
Nudge
time.
immediately becomes a millennial child and decides she wants to be a marine biologist when she grows up.
Yeah.
Don't
Nudge-
do it.
If we
She
could
doesn't
go
know any
back
better.
and tell people in 2005.
Don't.
Don't do it. Learn
do it.
how to code things. You'll probably be good. Do something with computers. I don't know.
Yeah.
I told myself I would not be negative, and I was already negative.
Yeah, but she wants to learn how to scuba dive, Sam. That's cool.
That is nice. I do support that, and just don't do it by Google nudge. Please go to an instructor.
Yeah.
Do we think Nudge's wings will be more or less helpful in scuba diving?
Oh, they would get in the way.
Yeah. I wonder, could she put them under... Because they can fold down along their spine, right? Could she just tuck them in under her wetsuit or dry suit?
Yeah. That would definitely help, but I don't know enough about the composition of feathers in relation to buoyancy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like,
They'd have to wear a lot of weight.
yeah, I was like, I feel like feathers have a lot of positive buoyancy, which then would mean she would need a lot of lead to get down, which
Yeah.
would really suck.
Well, and they've, like, the hollow bones, right?
Yeah,
And
they're
the air
not
sacs.
made to go underwater. Like, humans
No.
aren't super made to go underwater either.
No.
But I wear like 50 pounds of lead and like another 20 to 30 pounds of equipment on me to get down in the cold North Atlantic. So I don't know how much more you would need if you had 2 giant wings full of feathers plus hollow bones and like probably majority of a muscle composition, so that helps at least because the more muscle you are to
Yeah,
fat,
very lean.
yeah, you will sink more. But I feel like that positive force of those bones and those wings will not end well. But that being said, there's always accommodations that can be made, and I'm sure if I was her instructor, I would figure out a way to help her.
Well, I think someone needs to figure out how breathing compressed air would affect her first.
Her hollow bones. Great point.
You know what would also be great? If they did proper scuba diving studies on women and not just men. So like birds
Yeah.
would be the next step. But
I
would-
think it's really unfair that they haven't done any scuba diving studies on bird people. Like,
Yeah.
that's
they haven't
so
on
rude.
women either, so it's fine.
What'll be annoying is they'll do bird people who
They'll do
identify
birds
as
before-
men
yeah.
first
Yeah.
before they,
They
do
will, yeah,
regular
for sure.
women.
Like, did you know all decompression
God.
tables in which scuba diving theory is based on is just done on tests on men, none on women?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
I know I talk about it all the time, but I was listening to an episode of Maintenance Phase yesterday
Uh-huh.
where it was revealed that calories in, calories out is fake, but also it was based on only men.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of you and your methodology. I was like, wow.
Someone sends me like, oh, look at this new study. Go straight to the methods. 40 men were tested. Fuck you.
Yeah.
The fuck you is to the authors, not to the person who sends me the article.
Yeah.
Just to specify. Please send me your articles, but I will get mad that it's only tested on men, and then I will not read the rest of it because their methods are inherently flawed.
Yeah. But
Anyways.
everybody.
No, now, see, I'm taking this in a negative direction. We need to stop. I want to teach Nudge how to scuba dive. We would teach
Nudge
her how
is gonna
to
have a great
scuba
time.
dive. I don't know how decompression illness would affect them with their physiology, but you know what? I'm a scientist. I would figure it out.
Yeah, I do think bird wings, when they're not like water birds, I think bird wings can get fully soaked, and it's not good for them when they want to then fly.
Yeah.
But I think they can get fully drenched in a way that like doesn't trap air.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
It might not be that bad then.
It would be the air sacs in their body and their bones that would be the problem, I think.
Yeah. Like, if they got a heavy muscle...
They have more muscles than humans, I think.
Yeah, so like...
And they have more bones.
Okay.
It would be interesting because they are so lean and muscular that if they were purely human, I would think they would sink like a rock.
Yeah.
But because they have those hollow bones, it's hard to say.
It is.
So it could go either way.
Yeah.
Would the air in their bones get compressed? That's gross.
Well, that's like the nitrogen bubbles would get into those spaces, and so it makes them more...
Can you get the bends in your bones?
Well, if you've got...
Would it be an issue?
Well, yeah, because like basically...
It's in your bloodstream,
It's anywhere, yeah. So like the bends is essentially like nitrogen bubbles that get trapped in your blood because they haven't had enough time to like naturally leave your body. So then they get stuck, they create these bubbles, and those bubbles get trapped in any kind of like joint or like airspace that you have in your body. So that's why a common symptom is like a lot of people get shoulder pain or elbow pain because those bubbles will just like congregate all in the joints. So if the bubbles aren't like gassing off properly, and when I say gassing off, it's just like permeating through your bloodstream, like getting out through your body, then you're more susceptible. So like they would be more susceptible in the sense that the bubbles would have a higher chance of getting stuck in their bone cavities, like in those hollow bones, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I think they would just have to descend a lot slower, and they would have to ascend a lot slower.
The descent isn't the big deal, it's the ascent. So like obviously, descend at a slow rate, but it's like you accumulate as you go down, right? So like I think the descent rate would still be the same. It's why we always we have to ascend so much slower because of that.
But for them, like they don't just have like, if they have closer to the internal physiology of a bird, which is sort of necessary for their bones to be lighter, for their body to be lighter, right? They have to have all these air sacs that are part of their like breathing system. And essentially a bird breathes twice for a single inhalation because it breathes into like its lungs, and then the second breath brings that air into its like air sacs. And then it exhales once, right? Like, so there's like 3 steps.
It still wouldn't super affect your descent rate. Like, basically, your descent rate is just determined on, like, how fast you can equalize and, like, just, like, safely get down.
Equalizing meaning?
Sorry, so equalizing is basically that feeling you get in an airplane where you have to, like, pop your ears, or if you're going down in, like, a 10-foot pool, like a swimming public pool, that pressure you feel, you basically, when you're wearing, like, a scuba mask, you plug your nose, you blow out, and that just releases that the air in your ear, and that's what we call equalizing. And so when you're going down, you have to do that every like 5 feet or so, but it depends on the person, and you can do it more and more. So their descent rate would be impacted in that they have more air spaces to technically probably equalize, so they would probably have to go slower because of that. But it's not influenced by like nitrogen or anything like that. Like, I've had students who have just full on gone rock bottom down to 30
That's
feet.
what I do.
Oh my God. And I'm more worried. I worry about their ears. Like, their ears are the biggest concern there. But when I have students on the ascent who go up too fast. That's where you have to worry about decompression and lung overexpansion. So again, with their multiple air sacs and their more air spaces in their body, they would have to worry more about air expansion injuries, and then also making sure that they're going up even slower to give them bodies time to get rid of all that nitrogen from all those air spaces that they have. Hopefully that makes sense.
That's sort of what I was thinking, because even on the way down, right, like it's essentially like those internal air sacs are essentially them like holding their breath.
Yeah, and like again, holding your breath isn't a huge issue when you go down. So for those who don't dive, the number one rule of scuba diving is to never hold your breath. You want to always keep your airways open, because as you descend, air compresses. So anything you bring down with you compresses down. And as you go up, all of that air expands. So if you take a big breath down at 60 feet and you hold that all the way up, that's going to continue to expand. And by the time you get to the surface, that's what gives you a lung overexpansion injury. So that's what their risk would be. But everyone has that risk. But if you took a big breath, you dive down and then come back up, you're not at risk. So that's why free divers aren't super at risk, because essentially they'll take a big breath at the bottom, they go down however far they go, but that same volume of air is still in their lungs. It's just been compressed as they've gone down deeper, and they haven't taken an additional breath. So as they come up, they can still hold their breath and they're fine, because that volume will just return to normal once they hit the surface.
Yes, you mean they take a big breath at the surface. You said at the bottom, but you mean at the top.
Yeah.
Just because I know otherwise you'll be like, why did I say that?
Yeah, no. So, yeah, they don't take a breath at the bottom. So
they take one at the top, go all the way down.
Yeah,
come back
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get the picture.
Yeah. I bet they would be really good at free diving.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Super strong.
Yeah.
Well, they have a lot of airspace.
Yeah. I wonder if all of the extra airspace in their bones and sacs would put them at like risk for overexpansion injuries in their entire skeleton.
That's
why I think they would just...
Is that what you're saying?
They would have to come up super slow, because they'd have to breathe twice for every one breath that a human would make, right?
But to the earlier point where we said, can birds even like breathe compressed air? Like I don't know enough about the physiology to know with that anatomy.
Who knows?
If this is even like possible, because the more I'm thinking about it, the more I feel like there's so much airspace in there.
It'd be really interesting.
It would be really interesting, but I don't know if birds can scuba dive.
Yeah, like maybe they'd be able to breathe like a different mix, you know, like maybe you'd have to. Well, I don't know.
But is the issue more the volume than the composition of the air, correct?
Yeah.
No?
Well, the thing you also have to be aware of is diving different air mixtures is a whole science in itself. And again, I don't know bird physiology well enough from a diving perspective to really answer any of this. I don't think changing the composition would matter too much. I mean, you can change your oxygen and nitrogen content within this air in your cylinder. So again, for those who don't dive, your air cylinder is filled with 21% oxygen and 79% nitrogen, because that's what ambient air is.
Yeah, it's not an oxygen tank.
It's not an oxygen tank. If you go down with 100% oxygen, you will die. And I'm not exaggerating. It's called oxygen toxicity. And so when you're diving with air that has a higher oxygen content than normal, you're limited by depth. So like if you go down with like 32% oxygen in your tank, you can only go to 100 feet. And if you go past that, you will get oxygen toxicity, which then results in convulsions and usually death. So I don't know where I was going with this, but I don't think changing the mixture would matter. I would just need to know more about actually how those air sacs work, how the bones and the hollow bones and everything. Like there's just so many what ifs with their physiology that it would be really hard to conclusively determine whether or not they can go scuba diving. But I appreciate Nudge's enthusiasm, and you know what, like
you know, maybe someday.
I hope she can get there one day.
At the very least, she could go snorkeling.
She could, yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
I just feel like when you're sitting at neutral buoyancy on the bottom, if you had like 2 big wings, you could make like very minute movements probably pretty easy if you had them just open.
Yeah, but how would they... When you're diving, you have to wear a BCD, a buoyancy control device. That's like a vest that holds your air tank on your back. If you have wings, where does the BCD go?
Side mount.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
That's okay. There's a diving technique where you still have like a BCD. You have a bladder of air to help you control your buoyancy, but your tanks actually sit to the side of you. So you have one on either side of you. And a lot of people with back issues actually revert to that method because it's a lot easier on your back.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I want to try it one day, but I haven't gotten there because it's all expensive. And to do that, you need like another regulator. I would need 2 new tanks. You need a new BCD. It's just
so much.
Dive gear is so expensive.
It's a lot of money. So.
Well, you have to try it for the bird kids. You have to try it.
Oh my God.
So that you know how
I
to
don't
offer
even,
it
I'm
to
still
them.
like, actually, it's giving me anxiety thinking of these kids
Don't.
going scuba diving because I'm like, I don't know their physiology well enough and I
You
don't know
don't
if
have
this is
to
a good
teach them.
idea.
It's okay. National Geographic is going to hire Nudge, and then National Geographic will have to teach her how to scuba dive.
There
Exactly.
we go.
And at that point, apparently, Max will be president, so she can just make it mandatory that there are bird kid scuba diving studies done.
Is it
Yeah.
Is it bad that when Max said and I'll be president that I was like, oh, she's saying that because she wants to be a marine biologist, not because she's a bird kid that wants a normal job?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a marine biologist who had a hard time getting a job, I was like, I feel like Max becoming president is more likely than Nudge becoming not just a marine biologist with a job, but like the kind of high-profile marine biologist who makes discoveries and is hired by
National Geographic.
Okay. Although,
I mean, anyone can be hired by National... Oh, right. Sorry,
being a bird
I guess
kid...
That's you, Sophie.
No, being a bird kid, I assume in this scenario, they've been revealed... They're bird people, and National Geographic is like, wow, we've employed the first ever bird person on our staff.
Would fucking
She's
do
a marine
that.
biologist. Every employer is perfect. I just say that as any place of business would probably jump on the chance to employ the
like
first ever bird kid.
Diversity hire, right?
Yeah. Anyway, that'll be fun. Max president, Nudge marine biologist.
I don't really know if I trust Max to be the president.
No.
Well, she has
I
to
guess
save
she's
the
only
world.
14.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll grow up a little and realize that it's okay to be like the other girls.
Yeah, I feel like I was this bad or worse as a 14-year-old, so.
I was way worse, and I should not have been the president.
Yeah. I could be the president. I have some plans. Anyway, and then Fang just wants to stay here, which seems cool.
Honestly, yeah. I'm surprised. Like, Max seems shocked that Fang would even suggest such a thing.
Yeah.
But it seems kind of reasonable.
Yeah. Max, in this moment, really reminds me of that character in the show that Sam is watching right now, who just could not let it go.
Oh,
Don't know what you're talking about.
in Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah. There's this girl.
Okay.
She's so annoying.
She's wild. Her ex is just trying to get on with his life, and she's just like hell bent on ruining his life, even though it's just like not affecting her anymore.
Oh.
And that's I don't know why. It was just like, imagine, Max, you could just stop. You could just hang out here. She's like, absolutely not. We have to get revenge.
Yeah.
Fang is us now, and Max is us like maybe 10 years ago. At least me, but
Yeah.
That seems about right.
yeah, like we're Fang now. We're just tired. Like, we're done. But like 10 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, Max, let's go. Let's figure out. Let's save the
do it.
world.
Yeah. I do appreciate that this is probably one of the only books where it's like the girl being like, revenge, murder,
That's
we have
true.
to do it. And
Yeah.
the dude being like, what if we just retired?
And I do
Yeah.
love when women just want revenge. And
Yeah.
I just,
You would.
yeah, I respect it. Someone
Yeah.
today said, I love the thought of instilling fear into boring men's hearts, and I just like I think it's one of the best things I've heard all day, and shout out to my coworker who said it because it was great. No, we didn't have a women in science panel today. What are you talking about?
Wow.
Anyways.
What a good time. I'm powered by spite. Sam is powered by revenge.
Yeah. But
What are you powered
revenge?
by? Piss?
I don't No. I am
Vampire?
I am entrapped by piss. I don't think I'm powered by anything. I think I'm just tired.
That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That was so rude.
Well, I just think how a lot of your decisions are based on will I have to go to the
whether there's a
bathroom and where I will go from there. Sorry for taking the piss man's name in vain.
Taking the piss out of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ha ha! No, you do that on your own.
I
Anyway.
do that every 20 minutes.
Yeah. This was a good time. How about we guess what's going to happen next
Yeah.
in this book?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm once again going to guess. Gotta be the next couple chapters where one of them figures out they can talk to fish. I'm so sure that's going to happen soon.
Now that they're at the beach?
Yeah, they're at the
But
beach.
yeah.
Who
Which
knows?
one of them? Did we decide?
I thought someone
don't
said
think
it
we
was
decided.
Iggy or
It's either Gasman or Angel.
Oh.
Yeah. I
We
think
did
it's
have this
Angel.
conversation.
Yeah.
I think it's Angel too.
But anyway, we'll find out maybe. Anyway, I'm going to read you the first sentence of the next couple chapters, and you're going to have to guess what's going to happen in them. Chapter 113. The next morning, Fang came back from town and placed the New York Post at my feet with a little bow.
interesting.
Is the New York Post the right-wing one now?
I
don't know.
don't follow American politics anymore.
Me neither.
It's too depressing.
neither.
I can't do it.
Maybe it's a pretend New York Times.
It's probably a pretend newspaper.
Anyway, what do you think is going to happen?
Is there going to be an article about them flying out of New York or something?
Maybe.
Probably.
Or not? No article about them after they were in the newspaper for flying around in a restaurant?
That seems possible.
Yeah, I would buy that.
So there either is or is not an article about them in this newspaper.
Yeah.
I'm glad we came to this conclusion.
We have two good options right there.
Yeah.
Good guess, probably. The next one, chapter 114. Angel, I yelled, plunging into the water.
Oh, Angel's gonna
She's down there talking to the
talk
fish?
Down there talking to the
fish. I wish I could talk to fish.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my god.
They would probably be really mean, though.
They would because
would be
we're
super mean.
dicks, but I would like to talk to them.
Yeah, I always think about that. I work mostly on whale stuff, so I'm like, if we could just, talk to the whale and be like, hey, there's, a fishing line on you. If you just stay still for a few minutes, we'll get it
Yeah.
off and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That would be so great.
So great.
So great. I think about this even more than I think about going to the bathroom.
Even more than the Roman Empire.
There, that's her Roman Empire right there.
My Roman Empire is talking to whales.
Yeah.
Aw, that's
Because I'm Nudge.
Yeah. No, you're Angel, apparently.
I don't want to be an evil child.
Too bad.
But wait, can Angel do? Well, I guess we'll figure it out. But can she talk to just fish, or is it all vertebrae?
Fish
You-
is not a monophyletic
Yeah,
taxon.
Well, no,
you
I meant
know
how would you even?
no.
that
well,
if she can talk to them, she's going to be talking to everything.
I meant more
That's in
because
the
the
water.
whales are mammals. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to be talking to whales. She's going to be talking to a lobster.
Okay,
It's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. If Angel can only talk to fish, we're going to have a serious discussion about what the definition of a fish is.
I don't think James Patterson is aware, so it'll be a good discussion.
Well, Angel can talk to fish. We know this. Actually, it's more consistent that she can talk to fish because she can talk to fish in the shape of humans.
Yeah.
Everything's fish.
All fish.
Everything's fish. It's like how killer whales are dolphins. They're not whales. even though they're called whales, but dolphins are whales and actually whales are fish, if you think about it.
Exactly.
So killer whales are fish.
Angel can talk to whales because they're fish, technically.
Because they're fish.
It was only a fish.
It was only a fish. It was only a fish. How did it end
How
up
did
like
it end
this?
up like this?
I think this is the second time you've gotten us with that.
It is. I'm very proud of myself.
Dang it.
You should be.
Anyway, we're still guessing what's happening in the next chapter. So, chapter 115. I grabbed Angel into my arms, hugging her wet, chilly body against me.
Oh no, did she have to pull like a rescue mission?
Sounds like it. Angel was probably down there having a chill time talking to fish for like 20 minutes. And Max was like, oh my god, my baby child is dying.
Yeah.
Which is an understandable reaction if you're terrestrial mammal / bird hybrid person. Has not been breathing for 20 minutes.
And without a proper exposure suit to, you know, keep their body warm in the North Atlantic of New York.
God.
Yeah.
Do we think she breathes underwater also?
I'm almost certain she breathes underwater.
I think you said this
that
last
would
time
solve
too.
the problem.
Yeah. So then it's just
Of nudge.
hypothermia.
But I don't think Max knows that.
Maybe.
Right.
Right, like I think Max's reaction is reasonable.
Yeah.
Because I think this is where it's revealed to everyone that Angel can breathe underwater and maybe talk to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, the last chapter to guess. Chapter 116. Your sentence is, look who's come to the seashore.
Erasers!
Oh, is it Ari?
Erasers!
It's gotta be erasers.
Damn it.
We had at least 3 chapters without them.
They gotta be the erasers!
Yeah.
Or is it mommy and daddy?
Oh, God.
Ew, don't say that.
Yuck.
I'm not the one who named the part.
No, unfortunately.
Uh,
I can't.
It's 69 James Patterson's fault.
Ugh.
God, I am a child. Okay.
Anyway, did anyone guess? Oh yeah, erasers. Probably.
Yeah,
Erasers, yeah.
cool.
Cool.
I guess.
All right, that's a good guess. Then let's end with what we're currently reading. What else we're reading?
Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
What's the haps?
What's the haps, as everybody
Nobody
says.
as they
currently.
say in 2005.
Yeah.
Maybe.
yeah, that's what you meant to do. I'm currently reading. I think I've already talked about how the multiverse got its revenge. It's just I am slow on audiobooks right now, but I'm also listening to Surely You Can't Be Serious: The True Story of Airplane, the movie. I'm almost done it. You know the movie Airplane?
No, but that's a
Okay.
me problem. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's an incredibly funny comedy that is from the 80s, but also questionable. But it's read. I actually don't think the movie is like I don't know. I haven't watched it in a while. I'm not going to say anything. But all I want to do is talk about this book because it's read by the authors. Nope. It's read by the authors, yes. And the authors are the 3 directors and the writers, right?
Okay.
They'd never written a screenplay or anything before making this movie. It started as a stage play.
Oh.
It's like the wildest story to 3 people creating one of the like most iconic movies for a lot of like comedy people, but also I like the parts where they're talking about the movie and the actors read their thoughts. Like a lot of the actors wrote chapters about working for this movie, which is like very fun that they're reading those, but then it's like interspersed with like little blurbs from just like the most questionable current comedians talking about how much Airplane meant to them. And also I really don't think I like the directors at all. Like I do not think I like them as people based on the anecdotes they're talking about. But I'm like, but then they're talking about making the movie and the jokes and they're like, yeah, we cut out this thing anyway. And I'm like, that's really good and I really like the jokes still and the concept. But anyway, this book is causing a lot of feelings in me. So it's good. I'm enjoying it, I think. And that's
Nice.
actually the only thing I'm currently reading. So what about you guys?
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so chaotic in comparison.
Hell yeah.
I have somehow managed to read 11 books, and it is February
God.
7th.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how, but anyways, I'm feeling chaotic, so let's go through that. I DNF'd Beartown. I read Same Time Next Year by Tessa Bailey. I read Shark Heart by Emily Haybeck. Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. And Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. I think that's how you say that. And then I am currently reading Everything for You by Chloe Leese, Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong, and One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig.
Wow. You got a lot going on.
Insanity.
Yeah.
I'm also
busy
rereading
over there.
The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, but that's just a reread, so I don't know why I'm chaotic. It's been a weird few weeks, but here we are.
Yeah. This is what happens when we actually record every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of books happen.
We're supposed to.
Yeah.
I think it's also just been like winter, and I've been like consciously trying to get through my physical books.
And we had a couple miserable weekends weather-wise, so
And I did nothing but read House of Flame and Shadow this weekend, so I finished a 900-page book in 2 days.
In like 2 days.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I have no chill.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
When your favorite author puts out a new book, you read all 900 pages of it in 2 days.
I was so
That's a great
scared of
point.
getting spoiled, too.
Yeah.
Like, and
Also a great point.
yeah, and so I just like I had to read it, and I didn't want to bring it to Florida with me, and I had to know before I went to Florida. But you know what the shittiest part about?
What?
My pre-order was so delayed because of all the snow that I didn't even get my book until yesterday, and I finished it on Kindle because I couldn't wait.
Yeah.
It
Dang.
was really sad.
It was
Anyways.
really sad. Especially because, like, it had been delayed for like 3 or 4 days, and then I saw somebody selling it already on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, and like I could
And you hadn't even gotten yours yet.
I could have easily gone to Chapters and just got one on Friday night, but I was like, no, it's gonna come. And it was supposed to arrive, like they had actually shipped it a week ahead. It was supposed to arrive on release day. And then Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the half of the east coast of Canada got hit by a terrible snowstorm, and so nothing got delivered.
Yeah, we're recording on Wednesday. The sidewalks in my neighborhood still aren't cleared.
We got it all in rain.
Anyways, that is my chaos. Hannah, what about you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just recently finished reading A Letter to the Luminous Deep by Sylvie Catherall, which was really cute, and I think Sophie would love it.
Yeah.
And I'll just leave it there for now. So when I finished that, I started reading Here for the Wrong Reasons by Annabelle Paulson and Lydia Wang, which is a rom-com that happens on a reality show, because apparently that is exactly my vibe for rom-coms. And I am so close to being finished listening to Inheritance by Christopher Paolini. I have less than 2 hours of the audiobook left. They killed Galbatorix 3 hours ago. I'm just like doing the wrap up. And then I'm going to listen to Murtag. But, okay, guys, I want to give you this like extremely critical update to our nuclear dragons theory.
Oh, is it right? Are we right? Were we right?
We're kind of right. I think the magic is nuclear, because in this book, there are 2 separate instances of a person immolating themselves with magic and causing what is basically causing radiation.
Yes.
That like causes like mutations, and the life forms that live there causes like immediate sickness, and anybody who's in the vicinity kills some people. So I don't know if the dragons are nuclear, but the magic, I think, might be nuclear.
Dang. Well, dragons are like made of magic, aren't they? So
And dragons are made of magic. Yeah.
Just a nuclear reactor.
Wow.
So we might have been onto something that we thought was a joke, but maybe
I
doesn't.
think this
Maybe
is
it's not a
our
joke.
Best theory yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strongest contender.
Strongest contender for dragons.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Right? The first time they were describing how like this island was poisoned by this like blast of magic, and all of the animals here grow in strange ways, and everybody who like comes to this island needs to do a spell, otherwise they get sick and wither away. And I was like, excuse me?
Dang.
What you saying? What are you talking about? So, we're so smart. Is
So
basically what I'm saying.
smart. Wow, we are so smart.
Go us.
Yeah.
I know we did like a whole year of this podcast or whatever about Aragon, but still whenever somebody else says Galbatorix, I forget that that's a character in Aragon, and I immediately think of Asterix and Obelix.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just the name does not sound like it belongs in that book. It sounds like it belongs in a comic book about, you know, the Gauls.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought you were going to say that you want to pronounce it the French way that we came up with that still makes me laugh, where it was Galbatois.
No.
I couldn't remember
Yeah.
his name for the longest time. Didn't I just call him Big Wizard Guy for a while or something?
Isn't that his name translation? Big King?
Oh yeah, Big King.
King,
That's
yeah.
what it
Big
was.
Yeah.
Also, Angela may or may not be thousands of years old. Haven't
Yes.
confirmed yet.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Anyway, thanks for coming to
Aragon.
Midlight Crisis of
Hannah's Aragon.
2022.
Hannah's Aragon corner.
Yeah,
Was Asterix and Obelix just
I don't know
a
what you're talking
Quebec
about.
thing? I think that's the problem here. It was comic books about they were in French. This is the problem.
Yeah,
they were a
no.
bande dessinée, you guys. Anyway, someone out there maybe will get it. Continue with what you were about to do before I interrupted you.
Yeah, I was about to tell you that after I finish reading the rom-com I'm currently reading, I'm going to read the rom something that we have selected as our Midlight Book Club book for
Yeah.
February, which is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon.
Monster rum.
Monster rom?
No, I don't think
Rom-
that. I don't think anyone
A
calls it that.
romster?
I will-
Yeah, romster.
I will say
Romster?
I saw that the author put out a TikTok because her book has been like been put in a lot of cozy fantasy like pics and stuff, and she comes out and she's like, I don't understand where this is coming from. There is like murder and sex and like explicit smut in my books. Why are these being put in cozy categories? And I was like, oh,
It can still be cozy.
I think it could be
She-
cozy with smut, but I don't think it could be cozy with murder.
I don't know the way she was.
I think you can. I think Paladin's Grace was pretty cozy, and also there was murder in it.
You know what?
That's my thought, though.
You know what? I might agree with you, but I might need to think on that.
I do think if it's more paranormal romance than it looks, I think it might be the covers that throw people off.
I think that's what it is. And these self-published covers are even like more cozy looking than
Yeah,
Wow.
the new traditionally published ones.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's described as good for fans of Legends and Lattes about a woman who wants to just like live in peace on her farm. So I can see
Okay.
Yeah.
why people think this. None of us have read it yet.
Yeah, so I guess maybe once we read it,
We'll get back to you.
Yeah.
The author herself came out and was just like, I don't think my books are cozy, but I mean, I'll to ya.
Fair.
Listen. Cozy can mean different things to different
Yeah,
people, probably.
exactly.
It's an even more nebulous genre description than romance or fantasy, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. If you liked this chapter of Midlight Crisis and want to help me clean up all of these Orbeez, please consider rating and reviewing us on Spotify or your podcatcher of choice. You can talk to us and find fun-related content on social media. We are at Midlight Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Tumblr, and Blue Sky, and all chapters of the show thus far are available on our website, midlightpod.podbean.com, and on YouTube.
And to quote Max, with us learning that Nudge wants to be a marine biologist when she grows up. Kel Kadoinky Dink?
Kawinky dink?
Coinky dink!
Kawinky dink?
Coinky dink!
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. You know, like the thing that people say,
Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah.
Kawinky dink?
Coinky dink!
Coinky Winky Dink.
Calca-winky
I
dink.
think that's funnier because I'm known
Yep.
to mispronounce everything, so we're gonna keep that
Yep.
as
Doink.
is.
Yeah, we picked a book that didn't have any made-up words for Sam to struggle over, and yet
And yet we found the one.
we found the
For
one.
someone who loves to read, I sure can't read.
I'm getting that
Damn
on a
it.
t-shirt.